Welcome back. In today's class, we are going to discuss energy stored in a capacitor, applications of capacitor, capacitance in series parallel. Energy stored in a capacitor. Last class we discussed the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. Formula which we derived for the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor is epsilon naught A by D, and we obtain the relation the capacitance is directly proportional to the area and capacitance of the conductor is inversely proportional to the distance between the plate. Now this capacitance, I told you, it's a device is used to store electric charge as well as it stores the electric energy. How much energy is stored in this capacitor, that is we are going to calculate now. The capacitor not only stores the charge but also stores the energy. In order to store a charge in a capacitor, you need to move the charge towards the plates. That means you need to do some work. That work will be stored as a potential energy. Now the work done to move a charge between the plate we gave with the formula dW is equal to V dQ, where V is the potential between the two plates that can be calculated from the capacitance formula C is equal to Q by V. Then V is equal to Q by C. That is what given here. Substitute the value of V in this equation, then we will get, before doing that, let us substitute here dW equal to Q by C into dQ. We need to calculate the total work. This is a small work value. Total work means integration of this small work. The integration is valid between 0 to Q, where 1 by C is the constant which will come out of the integration. Then you will get 1 by C integration over 0 to Q, Q into dQ. Then it's in the form of, we need to evaluate this integration. The integration is in the form of integration over x power n into dx, which is equal to x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Instead of n, the value is present is 1, so that it will become q 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1, so it will become q square by 2. So that is the value of integration. Then when I substitute the integration value, we will get q square divided by 2c. Then substitute the value of q is equal to cv. Then here it is in the q square, that means q square is equal to c square v square. Then substitute in this equation, you will get c square v square divided by 2c. C and c square gets cancelled. Then finally you will get of cv square. That is a formula for energy stored in a capacitor. Then we know the formula capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor, epsilon naught A by D, and the potential difference between the plate is ED. Then substituting C and V value in above equation, we will get 1 by 2 epsilon naught AD E square, because here D and D square, one D gets cancelled. Then we will get this one. Area into D will be a volume. Then where AD volume is equal to volume of the space between the capacitor plates. The energy stored per unit volume of the space is defined as energy density, that is potential energy per unit volume. So this equation is divided by AD volume. So AD gets cancelled. Then finally you will get energy stored, charge density will be of epsilon naught E square. From this we found that the energy density depends on electric field only, not on size of the plate. So if you increase the electric field, it means that it consumes more charge density. Then applications of capacitor. Now we will discuss the applications of the capacitor. The applications where these capacitors are used. Mostly we are familiar with the digital cameras. The flash which comes from the camera when we take photographs is due to the energy released from the capacitor is called flash capacitor. Look at the diagram. This is the capacitor which helps to give flash from the camera, so which help us to take the photography. Now the next applications of the capacitor during the cardiac arrest, a device called heart defibrillator is used to give a sudden surge to the large amount of electrical energy to the patient chest to retrieve the normal heart function. This defibrillator uses a capacitor of 175 microfarad charged to the high voltage of around 2000 volt. This we are familiar with this. In order to activate the heart, we will give the electric shock to the human body on the chest, which can be given by the capacitor, is called as defibrillator. The next applications of capacitor is it is used in an ignition system of automobile to eliminate spark. In a bike, you have a self start. This self start is consist of a battery, and the charge will be stored in a capacitor. The capacitor produce a spark inside the ignition system. The next applications of capacitor is used to reduce the voltage fluctuation in a power supply so that it increase the efficiency of power transmission. What is voltage fluctuation? If in your home, if you find a stabilizer, you can find that the voltage is varying between 220 to 240. In order to get the constant voltage, we use the capacitor to reduce the power fluctuation. The next we discuss capacitance in series and parallel. First one will study capacitance series. Now consider the three capacitors C1, C2, C3 of capacitance C are connected to the battery V in series connection. Then the total voltage across the capacitor must be equal to the voltage of the battery. Each capacitor carries the same amount of charge. Look at the diagram. These are the three capacitors C1, C2, C3 are connected to the potential of V, and each plate carries positive negative charges, and the potential across the first capacitor is V1, potential across the next capacitor is V2, potential across the third capacitor is V3. These potential across each capacitors are different, but the sum of the potential difference across each capacitor will be equal to the applied voltage. That means, but the charges on each capacitor will be same. That we need to remember. Then the applied potential is equal to sum of the potential between the three plates, that is V is equal to applied voltage V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now from the definition of the capacitance of the conductor, C is equal to Q by V, C is equal to Q by V. From this we can calculate Q is equal to CV. Then substitute the value. Here we can calculate what is the value of V. V is equal to Q by C, correct? Then if it is a first capacitor, V1 is equal to Q by C1, not Q1, because each capacitor carries the same charge. So you should not put Q1, Q2, Q3, all are Q. Then V2 is equal to Q by C2. Then V3 is equal to Q by C3. Substitute all the values in this formula, then you will get this. V is equal to Q by C1 plus Q by C2 plus Q by C3, where Q is common in all this. take this Q as a common. So Q is equal to C1 plus 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. And the total applied potential will be equal to Q by Cs. What is Cs? Cs is the capacitance in series, the effective capacitance in series. Then substitute the value of this V here. Then you will get Q by Cs is equal to Q into 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. Q and Q gets cancelled. So 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. From this we found that the inverse of, see that it is the inverse of equivalent capacitance Cs of 3 capacitor connected in series is equal to a sum of inverse of each capacitance. See that it is equal to sum of inverse of each capacitance. The equivalent capacitance Cs is always lesser than the smallest individual capacitor in series. Then it is very important. That means these 3 capacitor can be replaced by single capacitor of effective value of capacitance of these 3. The next one, the capacitance in parallel. Consider the same way. Consider that capacitor C1, C2, C3 are connected in parallel, okay, in like this in a diagram, and each capacitor carries the different charge. Previous case I told you each capacitor carries same charge, but in this case each capacitor carries a different charge, but the potential will be same. Potential across each capacitor is same. Then since the capacitance of the conductor is different, the charge stored in each capacitor is not same. Then the total charge applied to the 3 capacitor will be equal to sum of the charge stored in an individual capacitor, that is Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Then Q is equal to CV. So then the value of Q1 will be C1V, Q2 will be C2V, Q3 will be C3V. Here V is same, potential is same in each capacitor. Substitute the value. Q is equal to C1V plus C2V plus C3V, where V is common, take it out, and Q is the common value. Total charge in a capacitor will be equal to Cp into V, where Cp is called as effective capacitance in parallel. Then when you substitute that, CPV is equal to C1V plus C2V plus C3V, where V is common, that will be cancelled out. Then Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. From this we found that the effective capacitance, the equivalent capacitance of the capacitor connected in parallel equal to sum of the individual capacitance. This equivalent capacitance Cp is parallel connection is always greater than that largest value, largest individual capacitor. These are the method in which you can reduce the number of capacitor used in an electrical circuit. Today we discussed energy stored in a capacitor, applications of capacitor, and capacitance in parallel and series. In next class we will continue with a new topic. Thank you.